morning, folks. This is Shippy the Explorer welcoming you back to this station. Today it's Sunday and we are churchgoers, and we're disciples of Christ, Christian Church Disciples of Christ, members of the Protestant movement who came out of Europe. We're Scottish Church, the Presbyterian Church, and then when we came to the United States, we convert to Disciples of Christ, Christian Church Disciples of Christ. So, Disciples of Christ Church, we're somewhat semi-formal, and we don't have a creed, but we say the only creed we have is Christ. All the teachings of Christ we follow. So it's a beautiful morning. The sun is shining, and but it's still cold outside with all the snow on the ground. Right. You can see the area is full of construction. As I said before, we have the metro, the purple line coming through here, and it's construction and construction over construction. So we have to bear this until I think 2027, but then we'll be happy to have this new line where we can zip around town with ease. This road is called East-West Highway, and believe it or not, straight ahead of you in the middle of summer, you know that this road becomes really East-West Highway, because we're looking towards the west, and if it was summer, the sun would be, especially in the setting sun, would be directly in front of us. It's amazing. So it's so I've always regarded it as, at this section of the road, I regard this as true East-West Highway. Now we are going up a little grade because we are going over the grade lines. As you go over the bridge, it's a little bit rough, so it's a little bit shaky at that point. To the right of us is think it's College Park, and to the left it's Heightsville. And Heightsville is the old established town. Some of the towns in some of the areas in the United States are towns. They're municipal, I call them jurisdiction, where they have their own police department and court, and so they have their own local government. And you pay tax, if you live in the area, you pay tax indirectly to the town municipal organization. Indirectly, I think it pays through the state, and the state pays the town. One interesting thing in the United States is we have infrastructure and structural development, town planning, where we develop the streets and divide the land into commercial, religious, and residential areas. And this, we're turning on to Adelphi Road now. It's a good example because all along the Adelphi Road on our left are churches. This area was designated for churches. We have the Mormon Church, we have the Church of Christ, we have the Heightsville Branch Library, we have the what they call the community center over here. And then on the right is that is a residential area where they have the homes. But on the left, most of it is churches and schools. So there's some structure to the development of most of the societies in this country. This area you have a school, the Northwestern High School. Quite a big school. They have sports fields, tennis courts, and in the back they have more track and field sports, football, soccer, American football center. Inside they have gymnasiums. just waiting to enter the traffic. Seems like a lot of people are going to church this morning. Guess we go to count our blessings for this lovely snow, for safety and spiritual renewal. And here we are. This is University Christian Church on the right, and we have an electronic sign that tells people that they are welcome. On the front we have a box that gives away food right in front of you. We fill it with food. Believe it or not, folks, we fill it with food, and by Sunday morning it's empty, because believe it or not, even in America there are homeless and hungry people. And this is in the back. We have 5 acres of land, and there's big development going on in the back here, folks. Apartment complex, parking, office tower, office space, and they've removed a lot of trees, but we have still some boundaries on our property, on the church property. But eventually, maybe in another 5 years, even these trees will be removed to put homes. So this is our church, and proud of it. Well, my friends, church is over, and I myself think it was a wonderful get together, and I'm now getting back home. So just travel with me, and I'll just show you the path home. Well, as I said before, University Christian Church is part of the breakaway movement from the Presbyterian Church of Scotland. And before that, Scotland, we had the Catholic, historically church is a Catholic movement. Then the Reformation period came in, and Protestant movement came in, Martin Luther and Sigler and all those guys. And now we are Baptist and Lutheran and all sorts of things. Disciples of Christ, Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, we We don't report to somebody like a pope, but we don't even report. We have a general president, you know, but each congregation is allowed to operate independently. They are managed by a trustee body, and actually the board make the major decisions for individual churches. We have some joint efforts that we do some things with the national church, but it's broken down into national church, regional churches, and local churches. So as I said before, there's no creed. The only creed we say is Christ, and we believe in the priesthood of all believers. So, and Christ, the teachings of Christ is the lead. We do use the Old and New Testament as our guide. But religion is an unusual thing, but it can be difficult aspect in people's lives, because most people in the world has the concept of God. Now switch over 6. Yes, as I said, religion can be a ticklish thing for people all over the world, because as far as I know, history has taught me that most people in the world do believe in the concept of God. Now there's atheists, and among that there's atheists and there's agnostic people. Atheists, you totally don't believe in any concept of God, I think. And agnostic people, you do believe in a supreme being, but you don't necessarily believe in Christ or Muhammad or Buddha, but so the Christian church churches some churches like Christian churches would say that, would give you, some people, the concept that they are the most important, and the Muslim would also, probably some would teach you that theirs is also the most important movement in the world. And of course we have Buddha, and Buddha actually came out of the Hinduism, out of India, and he took on his fellow disciples and spread the word. Now it's more predominant, I think, in Southeast Asia. But even as a Christian, I can't say they're wrong and I'm right, because what I look at is the goodness that comes out of all of this. If you're a Muslim and you follow the movement or the faith religiously, if you're a Christian, if you're Buddha, if you're Buddhist and you follow the concept, all of them seem to lead to a common goal, the betterment of your spirit, your soul. And if you follow that, the world will be a better place. I know historically, like, Christianity had been used to, as part of the colonization movement. And even now, some ministers are using the Christianity for the betterment of the self in terms of making themselves rich. But these movements really tells or demonstrate that there's a selfishness to the whole concept of religion. It's for, some of it is for you, but then how do you manifest it and support others in this world? So if you're for the betterment of yourself and the whole human race, then collectively, I think all the religions in the world, if they're not used in the wrong sense, are better or good for the human race. So why am I a Christian? I think I'm fourth generation disciples of Christ, so I was born in it, and I brought my wife and my kids in it, so they are fifth generation disciples of Christ. My great grandmother was worshiping the disciples of Christ in the 1870s and 1880s back in Jamaica. So I would encourage everyone, you don't have to take on a religion. If you're agnostic or don't believe in God, I would encourage everyone to be the best person they can in this world. So that's where I think what role religion needs to play in this world. So I keep on going to church, and I contribute to the financial part of church. And this is not to benefit our ministers or the leaders, but I do find that the Disciples of Christ movement is one of the best organizations to contribute to financially, because the money is used to support people from all over the world. I tell you one example. We have what they call the Week of Compassion, and that money is collection is promoted predominantly in a week, but the money is collected all year. And I'm telling you, that money is sent to the Week of Compassion movement, and as soon as anything, hurricane, flood, or tornado, or war, aspect of that money, parts of that money sent to area leaders where they can quickly get food and medicine and clothing and for whoever is affected in those traumas. And so that's one of the reasons why I make sure that I contribute to this my church's fund to help provide support for those people who are suffering in one aspect or the other in the world. And so, folks, if you're not in a church and you want to contribute, there are other organizations, non-religious, that you can contribute to. But that's my opinion, that's my action, and can't force you to do it my way. But my encouragement is that be good to yourself and be good to others. And that's it. Talk to you later.